Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we will start our unit number second, that is related to comfort. Now in unit number one, whatever we have studied, that was related to serviceability of the material, or especially we can say the fabric. In that we have studied the parameters, or we can say the properties which are important from serviceability point of view, and also we have studied about certain wear characteristics, because serviceability is no doubt related to wear, and that certain snag, then peeling, abrasion, that we have already studied. And also we have discussed about the wearer trials, laboratory trials as well as wearer trials, and also we have discussed the difference between the wearer trials and the laboratory trials, and that from that we conclude that no doubt wearer trials are very good, but they are expensive and time consuming. And where you require exact, perfect, accurate data, or we can say sensitive information if you require, then we can go for wearer trials. No doubt it is costly, it is time consuming, little bit complicated, but at least it will give you the exact results about our product. In laboratory trial also no doubt we will get the results, but you have to correlate the laboratory trials with the actual use. So that is the difference between wearer trials as well as laboratory trials. Now the second unit is related to comfort. Now as I think you are in final year and many of you may have come across this term which is called as comfort. Normally, if we feel good, see, the normal term or generalized term for a comfort is that if you are feeling good, then that is called a comfortable situation. This is a simple, I am telling you, simple concept. But technical point of view, if you say that comfort has many meaning, okay, so that we will study. So in this unit, when we say comfort, now comfort means again related to a term, that is thermal comfort is there. Now what is thermal comfort? Normally see, our body is having a temperature of 37, roughly 37 degrees centigrade. A normal metabolism body, a normal body is a normal fit body is having a temperature of 37 degree when we have normal metabolism. And suppose if from 37 degree we shifted to a temperature which is 10 degrees centigrade, or we shifted to a temperature which is 45 or 50 degrees centigrade, then what happened? Then we will not feel comfortable. The reason is due to thermal situations. Okay. So when we say thermal, then it is related to what? Heat. So we have to discuss certain points, that is heat balance, heat loss. Okay. And a comfortable is also related to how the air is allowed to pass through the fabric. Now simplest example, in summer, if we are wearing a shirt and we know that in summer we have excessive sweating, and if this sweat is not made to release in the atmosphere, if that sweat, or sweat is what? It is a one type of moisture only. So if that sweat remain on your fabric which you are wearing, then no doubt after certain period you will feel uncomfortable. आपको चिपचिपा सा लगने लगेगा, है ना? So air permeability is also important. So we have to measure it. Air permeability क्या है, क्या में कैसे measure करना है, that also we have to discuss. Then what is the effect of air permeability on fabric property? Just I told you, कोई respiration अच्छा होगा, तो comfort से related ही ये term है. Means air permeability is no doubt is related to comfort. Then we will also measure certain thermal parameter like thermal resistance and transmission. Now, how much the body and also the fabric they are resisting the thermal effect that will come under thermal resistance, and how much it is transmitting, how much the energy which is generated by energy is transmitted in air through the fabric, that is come under transmission. So transmission of your fabric, that is thermal transmission of fabric also we will study कि भाई जो गर्मी मेरे शरीर से जो heat produce हो रही है, because when we are walking, when you are talking, when you are running or playing, no doubt heat will be generated, and हमको गर्मी होती है ना, हम खेलते हैं तो पसीना आता है, गर्मी होती है हमको हवा चाहिए. So that is what कि भाई जो हमारा हीट है वो हीट हम सराउंडिंग में कैसे और एटमॉस्फेयर में कैसे रिलीज करें, सो दैट आवर बॉडी विल फील कंफर्टेबल, सो दैट टेम्परेचर ऑफ आवर बॉडी विल कम डाउन टू ए नॉर्मल टेम्परेचर 37 के आसपास, और दैट इज आवर मेन एम. सो आपका फैब्रिक थर्मल ट्रांसमिशन करता है या नहीं, दैट इज ऑल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट. नेक्स्ट टर्म मॉइस्चर ट्रांसपोर्ट. नाउ एज एयर परमेबिलिटी इज देयर, एयर परमेबिलिटी मींस व्हाट, एयर को हम अलाउ करते हैं. सिमिलरली मॉइस्चर ट्रांसपोर्ट मींस व्हाट, मॉइस्चर को अलाउ करना पास होने से. बिकॉज as I told you, sweat is produced, that sweat will be no doubt absorbed by your fabric. If it is a cotton fabric, it will absorb the sweat, okay, but only absorbing the sweat is not the solution. That sweat which is absorbed or liquid which is absorbed, that must be released by your fabric, so that the fabric will become dry and you will feel comfortable. So that is moisture transport में हम उस टाइप का बात करने वाले हैं. Then we know that our skin is a very sensitive part. So if suppose rough surfaces we are touching, then we will not feel comfortable. If soft surfaces our skin is touching, then we will feel comfortable. So that will come under your sensorial comfort. Then वाटर एब्जॉर्प्शन प्रॉपर्टी, नो डाउट मॉइस्चर ट्रांसपोर्ट एक प्रॉपर्टी है. दूसरा है वाटर एब्जॉर्प्शन, हाउ मच वाटर इज योर फैब्रिक इज एब्जॉर्बिंग, मींस व्हेन योर बॉडी इज रिलीजिंग द स्वेट, if your fabric is able to absorb that moisture or water, that is also important. Otherwise, if your fabric is not absorbing moisture or water, then what happens? That moisture or water will be accumulated on your body itself, and after that you will feel very sticky. आपको ऐसा चिपचिपा लगना चालू हो जाएगा, which is not a comfortable position. The best example is raincoat. If you wear a raincoat, you will find that after wearing the raincoat for 1 hour, your body will be from inside. You will find that your body will produce so much sweat, and all your clothes will be wet. Why? Because the moisture which is produced by your body, the sweat which is produced by your body is not absorbed by the raincoat. Because raincoat is what? Raincoat is not a water absorption material. It is a waterproof type of material, so it will not absorb moisture. That moisture will remain on your body and you will feel uncomfortable. Okay. So water absorption, similarly उसका opposite है water repellency, that is also important. तो दोनों चीजें हम यहाँ पे देखेंगे. Then if you see, not only water, but when your water vapor which are or sweat which is produced, and you know that our body is having certain heat, so that water may be converted into vapors, and whether your fabric is able to transport or allow this water vapor to pass, that is also important. So if it is allowing your water vapor to pass, that is called permeable. It is again important or related to comfort. So see, these all things जो भी हम बात करें, thermal, heat, air permeability, thermal resistance, moisture transport, sensorial comfort, water absorbency, water repellency, measurement of water vapor permeability, water repellency, and water permeability. Okay, water. Then hydraulic bursting strength. This one is not related to comfort. Only hydraulic bursting strength is not related to comfort, but other things. They all are related to comfort. So this all thing we will study in unit number 2. So now when we say comfort, so first term which is coming under comfort is called thermopsychological wear comfort. Now what is it? It is related to heat and moisture transport property of your fabric or cloth which you are wearing, and the way in which this particular fabric or cloth will help you to maintain the what we say heat of your body, that is called heat balance of your body during various activities and at various level of activity. Various level means where you are running, you are sitting, you are walking, you are playing. So at various level of your activities, in certain cases more heat will be produced. When you are running, when you are playing, more heat will be generated. When you are sitting, less heat will be generated. So whether your cloth is in a position to maintain the heat balance of your body during this high heat situation or low heat situation. मैं high heat इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ कि ज़्यादा heat produce किया during playing, running, so high heat situation. When you are sitting idle, then that is a low heat situation. So whether your cloth help you to maintain the heat balance, because our body required a particular heat that is comfortable लगने के लिए, that is 37 के आसपास अगर टेम्परेचर मैंने मेंटेन किया तो हमको कंफर्टेबल लगता है, और अगर मैंने बहुत ज्यादा या बहुत कम टेम्परेचर मेंटेन किया तो मुझे कंफर्टेबल नहीं लगता. सो दिस विल कम अंडर thermopsychological wear comfort, and it is concerned with what? The heat and moisture transport property of your fabric, of your cloth or your clothing. Okay, and the way in which your fabric, cloth or clothing will help to maintain the heat balance of your body for various activities and various level of activity. Various level मतलब अलग अलग तरह से दौड़ना, बैठना, running, cycling, etc. Okay. So this is the term about thermopsychological wear comfort. Another is skin sensational wear comfort. Now, see, skin sensational means what? When you wear a fabric, it will directly come in contact with the skin. Okay, that means your body, your skin is in direct contact with the fabric, and this contact is a mechanical contact. Actually, it is a mechanical contact because it is touching to our body. Okay, and now if suppose that particular fabric or a material which you are wearing, if it is not soft, if it is not pliable, then during movement it will irritate you. Okay, and if it is not soft, if it is not pliable during movement, and if it is have lack of prickles, I will see what is prickle means. So you will find that it will irritate you, and hence in certain cases you will find that the fabric, when you are in a humid situation, then this particular moistures, it will now cling to your fabric, and the fabric will hold that moisture, and if that moisture is touching to your body, then again you will not feel comfortable. Now the reason is that, सिंपल रीजन कि जो मॉइस्चर है वो उसने लेके बाहर छोड़ना चाहिए था, पर वो वहीं पे लेके बैठ गया, अंदर लेके बैठ गया, तो हमको प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट होती है. Okay, so what I'm trying to say, skin sensational wear comfort is related to your touch, skin touch with the fabric. Okay, so soft है, pliable है तो बहुत अच्छा लगेगा, stiff है, rough है तो अच्छा नहीं लगेगा. Plus मॉइस्चर एब्जॉर्बेंस अच्छा है तो मॉइस्चर एब्जॉर्ब करके बाहर छोड़ेगा, मॉइस्चर एब्जॉर्बेंस अच्छा नहीं है तो फिर अंदर में डैम्प कंडीशन क्रिएट करेगा एंड यू विल नॉट फील कंफर्टेबल. ओके, so this is about two type of your what we say comfort. That is, one is your psychological comfort thermo-psychological comfort, and the other is related to your skin sensational wear comfort. Okay. So now our next main, we can say, definition, that is thermal comfort. Now, what it means actually, what is mean by thermal comfort? As I told you, comfort means when we are feeling good. Okay, this is now clear to us, when we are feeling good. Now suppose when we will feel good, if we are in a position, or when our body is in a position where we can maintain the temperature which is favorable, or which is acceptable by our body, or a temperature where your body will feel good. This is simple logic. Okay. So when you will feel good, I will feel good when my body will be at a position where my whole skin or parts of my body, they will feel comfortable. Now when they will feel comfortable, if I am in a situation to maintain a temperature where for which my body parts are made and they will feel comfortable. So what is that temperature? That is 37 degrees centigrade. Okay. So if I am in a position to maintain 37 degrees centigrade, so you will find that I will feel more comfortable. Now if you see the air conditioning system जो है उसमें देखिए क्या होता है, we can maintain temperature. Okay. इसमें टेम्परेचर का बटन भी होता है ना. So गर्मी रहती है तो हम थोड़ा लो रखते हैं टेम्परेचर, सर्दी रहती है तो हम हाई रखते हैं. पर एक्चुअली व्हाट वी आर ट्राइंग टू डू कि मेरी बॉडी को कौन सा टेम्परेचर में कंफर्टेबल फील होता है. सो नॉर्मली जो ह्यूमन बॉडी है उसका नॉर्मल टेम्परेचर क्या बोला गया है, 37 डिग्री के आसपास अगर मैंने मेंटेन किया तो मेरा बॉडी ऑटोमेटिकली कंफर्टेबल फील करेगा. ओके. So just now we have also discussed about the wear comfort. So there are two aspects of wear comfort that is now clear to us. कि कौन से हमारे दो ये थे, जस्ट अभी हमने देखा कि एक था thermo-psychological wear comfort and another is the skin sensational wear comfort. So whose microphone is not, please make the microphone silent. Okay. So what I am trying to say, that my body, if maintain the temperature of in and around 37 degrees, then automatically I will feel comfortable. And this term is called as thermal. This term is used mostly during explanation of thermal comfort. Okay, means we are in a position to maintain the temperature of 37 degrees centigrade. So if we are in this situation, then now no doubt 37 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड बोला तो सभी का 37 नहीं रहता, थोड़ा बहुत वेरी हाफ डिग्री 1 डिग्री इधर हो सकता है, बट रफली यू फाइंड दैट मैक्सिमम आर अराउंड 37 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड. सो एक नैरो लिमिट है, उसके आसपास में अगर मैं टेम्परेचर मेंटेन किया बॉडी में तो कंफर्टेबल फील होता है. So in winter season, normally you will find that your body temperature is above that of external environment. Okay, why? Because your body try to maintain 37 degree. So that means your body has a source, internal source of heat in order to maintain this temperature difference. है ना, हमारा बॉडी क्या करता है, ये टेम्परेचर डिफरेंस मेंटेन करने का कोशिश करता है. नाउ हाउ इट इज पॉसिबल, what is the internal source of heat? Our metabolism. Okay, from where we got this internal source of heat? from where we got this heat? We got this heat from our body's metabolism. Okay, and this heat comes from where? From body's metabolism, and it is necessary for burning of calories to provide power to our muscles and other internal functions. Okay. By doing this, your body should be in a thermal balance. So the metabolic heat which we have generated and the heat which we are receiving from external sources, they must be matched by your body. Okay. If the heat is gained and the heat loss are not balanced, then the body temperature will either rise or fall, and it may lead to serious threat to your life. So this you have to keep in mind. हम क्या बोल रहे हैं? Whatever internal source I have, whatever external source I have, okay, external source means what? Sunlight. मैं धूप में खड़ा हूँ, external source of energy. मैं दौड़ रहा हूँ, तो मेरा body बहुत ज़्यादा heat generate कर रहा है. So my body should match this what we say loss from body of an equivalent amount of heat. So whatever heat generated together from the heat received from external source and metabolism must be matched. क्योंकि मैं ज़्यादा हीट मिल गया, बॉडी भी ज़्यादा हीट दे रहा है, प्लस आप बाहर से भी एक्सेस हीट ले रहे हो, तो ज़्यादा हीट हो रहा है, तो हमको क्या करना पड़ेगा? You should match this heat by loss of heat from the body to an equivalent amount of heat. जो भी एक्स्ट्रा हीट है उतना ही equivalent amount हीट मेरा लॉस होना चाहिए, है ना? अगर मैंने ये मेंटेन नहीं किया, मतलब जो हीट गेन एंड हीट लॉस, if they are not balanced, then what happened? Then serious threat to our life can be arise. That means हमारा बॉडी का टेम्परेचर अगर राइज और फॉल हो रहा है तो हमको प्रॉब्लम होगा. दिस यू हैव टू कीप इन माइंड. नाउ अब जो एनर्जी हीट जो जनरेट हो रही है, मीन्स कैलोरीज बर्न हो रही है, अभी हमने जस्ट बात किया. सो व्हाटएवर वी आर डूइंग नाउ, that is energy we are producing. Heat is what? It is energy. So you will find that only 15 to 30% energy from, now from where we are getting energy? From the food. Energy कहाँ से आ रहा है आपको? आप खा पी रहे हो तभी तो एनर्जी मिल रहा है ना, which is our fuel. खाना पीना हमारा फ्यूल है ना? So whatever energy we are getting, we are getting from the food, and you will come to surprise that only 15 to 30% maximum, मतलब 15 से 30%, only 15 to 13% energy from the food is utilized for performing body activities. खाली 15 से 30%. मीन्स यहाँ पे हमको एक चीज ध्यान में आ से, ओवर ईटिंग का कोई फायदा नहीं है. क्यों? क्योंकि हमको सिर्फ 15 से 30% ही एनर्जी लगता है फूड जो हम खाते हैं, है ना? फॉर एग्जाम्पल हम पेट भर के, सिंपल लॉजिक है, इफ यू आर ईटिंग जिसको बोलते पेट भर के, फुल स्टमक तक मैंने खा लिया खूब जोरदार, ओके. सो आउट ऑफ दैट फूड, हाउ मच फूड इज यूटिलाइज्ड बाय योर बॉडी? मींस एनर्जी जो है, only 15 to 30% energy from that food is utilized for performing the body activity. बाकी का क्या हुआ? 70 to 85% energy wasted and heat formation. So this is a very, we can say, alarming fact. 7 to 85% energy wasted as the heat formation. And whatever your heat formation is there, 87. Yes. Anybody want to say something? Whose mic is on? Sri Ganesh. Want to say something? Okay. Sri Ganesh, I am audible to you? I'm audible? Can anyone reply? Can anybody reply to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So what we are saying, we are saying that the heat generation and heat loss must be balanced. Otherwise, जैसे मैंने बोला, there may be a medical problem. बिल्कुल आ सकता है medical problem. So that means our body must be kept in thermal balance. Thermal balance मतलब रखिए, ध्यान में रखिए 37 डिग्री के आसपास मुझे बॉडी टेम्परेचर मेंटेन करके रखना चाहिए. तो उसी को मैं यहाँ थर्मल बैलेंस बोल रहा हूँ. हीट जनरेट बॉडी करता है, बाहर से एक्सटर्नल सोर्स ऑफ हीट भी रहता है, वो हीट लॉस से मुझे वो मेंटेन करना पड़ेगा. ओके. Now the metabolic heat generated together with the heat received from the external sources must be matched by the heat loss from the body of an equivalent amount of heat. Just we have discussed this thing. मुझे मेंटेन करना पड़ेगा. मेटाबॉलिज्म प्लस एक्सटर्नल सोर्स से हीट मिला है, वो मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा, लूज करना पड़ेगा, so that equivalent amount of heat should be maintained. Otherwise, serious medical condition can be generated, or you will find that serious threat to life will be there. If you are not in a position to balance them, that is heat gain and heat loss, if not balanced, then there is a serious threat to your life. So that again you have to keep in mind. Now we will move toward the term that is heat loss. Now when we say heat loss, so normally there are four mechanisms that allow the body to lose heat to the environment in order to maintain what? Thermal balance. Okay. So the way the heat loss is divided between the mechanism depend on your external environment. So that again you have to keep in mind. The first thing, there are four mechanisms which allow a body to lose heat to the environment in order to what? In order to maintain your balance, that is thermal balance. Okay. And therefore you will find that this heat loss is divided between the mechanism depend on your external environment. So first is conduction. First is what? The conduction. Now here, now what is conduction? फर्स्ट हम चारों के नाम देख लेते हैं, उसके बाद हम उसको डिस्कस करेंगे. सो विच आर द फोर? कंडक्शन, कन्वेक्शन, रेडिएशन and evaporation. So is the PPT is visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there are these four we can say mechanisms which allow our body to lose heat to the environment. And if you go one by one, so that is first is conduction. So when we say conduction, that means here the heat loss is accompanied through a direct contact with another substance. मतलब कोई चीज डायरेक्ट कांटेक्ट में अगर है, जिसको हम डायरेक्टली अगर मैं कोई गर्म चीज को लेके आऊँ और किसी कपड़े को लगा दूँ, तो वो गर्म चीज ड्यू टू फिजिकल कांटेक्ट उस कपड़े में टेम्परेचर बढ़ा सकता है. ओके. So here the heat loss is accomplished. How it is accomplished? Through direct contact with other substance. And here the rate of exchange is determined by the temperature difference between the two substances and by their thermal conductivity. What is example? Simple. Body loses heat in this manner when submerged in cold water. Means when your body come in contact with cold water, you will find that the heat from your body now will come in contact. The body which is have heat is come in contact with the water, so it will try to give temperature to the water, but the water is already cold, so the temperature may rise or may not rise depending on the external environment. So that is called conduction. That is, rate of exchange is determined by what? Temperature difference between the two substances and by their thermal conductivity. Okay? मतलब वो जो गर्म टेम्परेचर जिसका है वो अगर मैं किसी ठंडे टेम्परेचर को टच करूं, हम प्रेस करते हैं ना, प्रेस में हम क्या करते हैं, आयरनिंग. व्हाट वी आर डूइंग ड्यूरिंग आयरनिंग, व्हेन यू आयरन, योर आयरन इज हॉट, that is conduction. What you are doing, the hot iron which is having heat, which is having temperature, that heat or temperature you are now transporting to your fabric, which is normally cold as compared to the iron. As compared to the iron temperature, you will find that the temperature of your fabric is less. So that is a difference between these two substances. Means now rate of exchange means what, कितने फास्ट या कितना ज्यादा आपका हीट वहां पे जाएगा. इट इज टोटली डिपेंड ऑन व्हाट, टेम्परेचर डिफरेंस बिटवीन दिस टू सब्सटेंसेस. जितना ज्यादा टेम्परेचर डिफरेंस रहेगा उतना फास्ट रेट ऑफ एक्सचेंज होगा. एंड उनका थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी, अब आपका मटेरियल थर्मल कंडक्टिव है या नहीं है, दैट इज ऑल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट. अगर थर्मल कंडक्टिव ही नहीं है तो कुछ नहीं होगा, थर्मल कंडक्टिव है तो बिल्कुल वो यहाँ पे रिस्पॉन्स करेगा. Then next, that is convection. What is convection? Now heat transfer through a medium. What is a medium? Maybe liquid or maybe gas. That is heat transfer to the medium. That is moving fluid, moving gas, moving liquid. Like for example, when the air in contact with the body is heated by conduction. ओके, जब मैं खड़ा हूँ या कोई आदमी खड़ा है, इसके बॉडी को एयर कांटेक्ट में आ रहा है, तो एयर का टेम्परेचर कम है, तो बॉडी का जो टेम्परेचर है वो एयर को लग रहा है, तो वो तो हो गया कंडक्शन, क्योंकि फिजिकल कांटेक्ट हुआ एयर का और बॉडी का. एंड देन व्हेन दिस एयर इज कैरिड अवे फ्रॉम द बॉडी, दैट प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड कन्वेक्शन. बिकॉज ये जो आपका हीट था जो आपका एयर में आ गया, एयर में कैसा आया, कंडक्शन से हो रहा, लेकिन अब कैरी फॉरवर्ड कैसे हो रहा है, एयर की वजह से हो रहा है ना, मूविंग एयर की वजह से, या मूविंग गैस, मूविंग लिक्विड. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज कन्वेक्शन. देन द नेक्स्ट टर्म इज रेडिएशन. नाउ अगेन हियर यू आर यूजिंग इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स. Okay, and this wave can be passed through the air without imparting much heat. मतलब हवा को गर्म करेगा इसकी कोई गारंटी नहीं है, क्योंकि वो वेव्स खुद ही हीट ट्रांसमिट करके लेके जा रही है, हीट ट्रांसफर कर रही है. But when this wave will strike to any material or object, then their energy is transferred into heat. Okay. So just keep in mind, भाई अगर इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव से में जा रहा है तो that is called as radiation. And no doubt it is depend on temperature of an object. And also you will find that here the heat radiation and heat absorption by any material is influenced by the color. Okay, ये भी बात ध्यान में रखिए कि black is both best absorber and radiator of heat. You have to keep in mind. Okay, जैसे हम बोले कि heat radiation and absorption by an object is influenced by what? White color. अगर मैं ऐसे बात कर रहा हूँ तो आप देखिए कि black is having best absorber also and best radiator of heat also. And as compared to it, white and polished metals, they are poor absorber and radiator. Okay. Sorry. Now the fourth type is evaporation. Now evaporation means what now? Now normally evaporation आपने शायद फिजिक्स में कभी पढ़ा होगा, evaporation में क्या होता है. Your liquid water जो है change into vapor. Okay, that means it evaporates. Why it is evaporating? Because from liquid it is converted into gas, और vapor हम यहाँ बोलेंगे with the help of what? Large amount of energy, that is heat. Large amount of heat energy is used here to transfer this. And you will find that this is what we say, the water which is evaporated from your skin surface. And जैसे मैंने वहाँ बात किया कि water will be now transport maybe through evaporation also. So what it means? It means that when your skin surface is come in contact with the water, then energy required there is required what? To remove from the skin. एनर्जी कहाँ से मिली है? आपकी स्किन से उसको मिल रहा है. ड्यू टू व्हाट? ऑटोमेटिकली देयर विल बी कूलिंग इफेक्ट. आप देखिए जब मुझे स्वेटिंग होता है, आप गर्मी समर सीजन व्हेन देयर इज अ स्वेटिंग एंड इफ यू सिट below a fan, then you will feel cool. Why you are feeling cool? Because the sweat, that is the water which is evaporated from your skin surface. Why it is evaporated? Because the energy is required and that energy is removed from your skin, and therefore when energy or heat, now energy की हम बात करेंगे, energy is heat only. So that heat is now removed from your skin. Therefore you are feeling cool. You are not feeling cool because of water. तो आप बोलेंगे पानी लगा, मतलब पसीना, मतलब मैं गीला हूँ या वाटर है इसलिए मुझे कूल लग रहा है. नो, here the energy from your skin is now used to evaporate the water. जो एनर्जी आपके स्किन में था वो कहाँ चला गया? वाटर इवापोरेशन में चला गया. बिकॉज यू नो दैट लिक्विड वाटर को इवापोरेट करने के लिए मुझे हीट एनर्जी लगता है. इवापोरेशन में तो वही होता है ना, पानी उबालिए और भाप बनता है ना. सो व्हेन यू बॉईल वाटर, लिक्विड विल बी ट्रांसफर्ड इनटू वेपर. सिमिलरली हियर your skin is giving heat or energy to the water to evaporate. So that energy which is given by your skin, अब स्किन ने तो उसको दे दिया एनर्जी, यहाँ तो कुछ बचा नहीं, तो ऑटोमेटिकली पूरा टेम्परेचर हीट चला गया, तो यू आर फीलिंग नाउ कूल. पानी की वजह से कूल नहीं हुआ, ड्यू टू ऑपरेशन प्रोसेस यू आर फीलिंग कूल. And you will find that again is when environmental temperature approaches the skin temperature, मतलब 37 के आसपास, then the heat loss through convection and radiation gradually come to an end. जैसे ही environmental temperature is coming around 37 degrees, you will find that whatever heat loss is there, that is now not due to convection and radiation. Now the only mean here for loss of heat is evaporation. एक ही बचता है, that is evaporation. So convection और radiation यहाँ हमारे काम में नहीं आएगा, खाली आपको evaporation ही काफी है. Okay? Now this is simple diagram given to show this what we have studied, just convection, convection and radiation. Evaporation तो आपको पता है, if water is heated or boiled, liquid will be poured into gases or vapors. So convection, heated air. हीटेड एयर को मैंने अगर टच किया तो मुझे वो कन्वेक्शन बोला जाएगा. कंडक्शन मीन्स व्हाट? डायरेक्टली टू द सरफेस हीट इज ट्रांसपोर्टेड, एंड रेडिएशन इज व्हाट? इट इज इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स. Now what we are studying, they are generalized terms, and now we are moving toward our fabric properties for maintaining the heat balance. Now, which are the properties we should consider for maintaining this heat balance, or we can say for maintaining the comfort? So, the important properties for maintaining comfort are insulation, windproofing, मॉइस्चर वेपर परमेबिलिटी एंड वाटर प्रूफिंग। देखिए विंड प्रूफिंग भी है, वाटर प्रूफिंग भी है। ओके, इंसुलेशन भी यहाँ पे दे रहे हैं एंड मॉइस्चर वेपर परमेबिलिटी, मॉइस्चर वेपर permeability. Okay. Now, why moisture vapor permeability? I think now it is clear to you. The sweat means a liquid, and the water है उसमें. So your skin will no doubt convert it into vapors. That is a moisture vapor. And whatever vapor you have converted, this vapor should be moved outside. And when we know that we are wearing a fabric, शर्ट पहना है, टी शर्ट पहना है और अंदर ये प्रोसेस हो रहा है, बॉडी स्किन को टच में, स्किन के ऊपर ये प्रोसेस हो रहा है, तो वो स्किन से एनवायरनमेंट में आने के लिए बैरियर क्या है? फैब्रिक. सो योर फैब्रिक शुड अलाउ दिस मॉइस्चर वेपर टू मूव. दैट इज कॉल्ड मॉइस्चर वेपर परमेबिलिटी. सो फर्स्ट दैट इज इंसुलेशन. ऑलरेडी वी हैव हर्ड अबाउट दिस टर्म इंसुलेशन. इंसुलेशन मीन्स व्हाट? सुना है इंसुलेशन के बारे में, कई बार सुना होगा. इट इज एक्ट एज ए बफर. यस. तो इंसुलेशन क्या होता है, किसी को आइडिया है? ओके, लेट इट बी. Now, normally the air temperature which is ideal, we can say, for a person who is wearing the cloth to feel comfort. Now see, without cloth that is 37 degree. With cloth अब हम बात कर रहे हैं तो roughly 28 to 27 degree centigrade जो है air temperature, अगर with cloth, it is very ideal situation. If we are sitting in this temperature of air temperature of 28 to 29 degrees centigrade, we will feel comfortable if we are wearing the cloth. And if suppose air temperature lowers below this, then you will find that the body will now lose heat without the added insulation given by your clothing. अगर आपका clothing उसको insulation लेने में possible नहीं है, so your body will not try to lose the heat. Okay, because you have to maintain the temperature of your body. Okay, and you will find that the air here will first act as a very high resistance to heat conduction. एयर ही पहले एज ए रेजिस्टेंस हमारा काम करता है, लेकिन हम यहाँ क्लॉथिंग की बात कर रहे हैं. बट जैसे हमने बोला, when the at normal temperature 28 to 30 degrees we will feel comfortable in a normal room temperature. But if suppose it is go down, then we require some prevention to this loss of heat, and that we have done with the help of clothing. Okay. अब क्लोथिंग क्या करेगा कि the heat which is generated by body will be now not released in the atmosphere. Otherwise, मैंने अभी आपको बोला कि when the vapors they are released in the atmosphere, your skin temperature will drop down. Okay, and you will feel more. The cooling effect will be more. So what we can do here, we have to protect this heat around our body. And how it is possible? By using cloth. And you can see, we know that cloth is the best insulating material. Now best example is हम पहनते हैं sweaters. ठंड में स्वेटर पहनते हैं कि नहीं? और when we are using what we say blankets, we are using bed sheets और blanket जिसको हम बोलेंगे, to cover our body. Why we are covering our body? Because we want to prevent the heat loss. So this loss of heat will be prevented by using the cloth or clothing, and hence our cloth will act as a insulating material. Now this insulation will be measured in term of thermal resistance. एक थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस है, उसको हम मेजर करते हैं. एंड दिस थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस, अब हमको पता है कंडक्टिविटी का रेसिप्रोकल है रेजिस्टेंस. सो व्हाट वी आर मेजरिंग, वी आर इंटरेस्टेड टू मेजर थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस, एंड दिस थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस इज अ reciprocal of thermal conductivity. Now we know that conductivity का reciprocal है resistance, resistance का reciprocal है conductivity. So this term we already know. Now this whatever heat loss is there, which is happening with us, is due to conduction, convection, and radiation. Okay. Now when we say convection, now this heat loss is due to, see, मैंने कपड़ा पहन लिया, शर्ट पहन लिया, टी शर्ट पहन लिया, और अगर हीट लॉस हो रही है तो किस वजह से होगा. अगर इंसुलेशन नहीं है या इंसुलेशन ढंग का नहीं है तो हीट लॉस के क्या क्या पॉसिबल मैकेनिज्म्स हो सकते हैं. ठीक है, जो सिचुएशन हमने ली कि हमने शर्ट पहना है, कपड़े पहने हैं, फिर भी हीट लॉस थोड़ा बहुत होगा. क्यों हो रहा है? ड्यू टू कंडक्शन, ड्यू टू कन्वेक्शन और ड्यू टू रेडिएशन. ठीक. सो इन आवर केस जो अभी हमने बात किया, तो द कन्वेक्शन हीट लॉस ऑकर्ड ड्यू टू व्हाट? बिकॉज कन्वेक्शन क्या था? एयर या गैसेस या लिक्विड जब मूव करता है तो कन्वेक्शन होता है. सो हियर द एयर करंट आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल for heat loss due to convection, which is happening because either we are moving or is there wind circulation is there, then this thing can be happen. Now this heat loss by convection, how we can reduce or try to restrict this heat loss? Very simple. Here if we are in a position to keep the air at rest, and if we reduce our body movement, then automatically you will find that you can reduce the convection loss. विंटर में हम ओढ़ ओढ़ के बैठ जाते हैं, है ना? विंटर में देखिए एक जगह सब बैठ जाते हैं, सूख के पूरा ओढ़ के बांध के सब बैठ जाते हैं. Why? To reduce this loss. How? By keeping the air movement minimum. और वही हम घर के बाहर जाके बैठे तो अगर हवा चल रही है तो ठंड ज्यादा लगेगी. Why? Because there is a convection loss. कन्वेक्शन की वजह से आपका जो बॉडी ने हीट जनरेट किया था वो हीट जनरेटेड कन्वेक्शन की वजह से चला गया. क्यों गया? बिकॉज एयर मूवमेंट है, इसलिए. कन्वेक्शन का मीनिंग ही है कि कैरिड बाय एयर और लिक्विड और गैस, है ना? नाउ दिस हीट फ्लो, अभी हीट फ्लो कहां से हुआ? थ्रू द फैब्रिक. बॉडी में से हीट निकला स्किन से, और स्किन से फैब्रिक में से बाहर आने के चांस है. अगर क्लॉथ है तो एज ए इंसुलेटर वी कैन यूज इट. और अगर इंसुलेटर नहीं है या नहीं भी है तो भी कुछ लॉस अगर होता है तो ये जो हीट फ्लो है, या जिसको हम लॉस भी बोल सकते हैं, द हीट फ्लो थ्रू द फैब्रिक इज ड्यू टू व्हाट? ड्यू टू कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ ऑल्सो कंडक्शन एज वेल एज रेडिएशन. कन्वेक्शन तो है, अभी हमने जस्ट बात किया. कन्वेक्शन तो हमने अभी यहाँ जस्ट बात किया. कन्वेक्शन का हमारा क्लियर हो गया कि एयर मूवमेंट अगर मैं रिड्यूस कर दूं तो मेरा ऑटोमेटिकली कन्वेक्शन वाला हीट लॉस में कंट्रोल करता हूं. लेकिन कंडक्शन और रेडिएशन का क्या करेंगे? So in case of conduction, the heat loss or heat flow depend on fabric thickness first. Second, thermal conductivity of your fibers, also of air. And the fabric conductivity here can be given by the formula 1 minus F A plus F into Kr. So what is A? What is F? Sorry, what is F? F is a fraction of volume of fabric. It is a volume of fabric. Fraction of volume of fabric taken by whom? By the fiber. मतलब उस फैब्रिक में कितना वॉल्यूम फाइबर ने कवर करके रखा है, ठीक है। व्हाट इज दैट? फ्रैक्शन ऑफ वॉल्यूम ऑफ फैब्रिक टेकन बाय द फाइबर। व्हाट इज Ka and Kr? Conductivity of air which is constant and conductivity of a particular fabric that is also constant. वो हम गिन सकते हैं। कॉटन फैब्रिक है, अगर उसका कंस्ट्रक्शन मुझे पता है तो उसका कंडक्टिविटी आप निकाल सकते हैं। एयर का कंडक्टिविटी हमको पता चल जाता है, वो भी हम आराम से निकाल सकते हैं। सो फैब्रिक कंडक्टिविटी वी कैन फाइंड आउट बाय यूजिंग दिस फॉर्मूला। देन अनदर लॉस कैसे होता है? ड्यू टू रेडिएशन, जिसको हम यहाँ पे बोलेंगे रेडिएशन हीट। नाउ दिस रेडिएशन हीट जो है, इट इज अगेन टोटली डिपेंड ऑन द heat exchange, totally depend on what? Difference between the heat emitter and the heat absorber. Heat emitter as well as heat absorber. Now what is your heat emitter? Skin. What is heat absorber? No doubt, first cloth or fabric, and then after that the environment. Okay. Now you will find that this radiated heat जो है, that is radiation, it will travel only few millimeter from a fiber to fiber, and then it will reach to the surface of the fabric. Means through fabric it is moving, but how it is moving? It is traveling few millimeter from fiber to fiber. It will only travel few millimeter from fiber to fiber, and then it will reach to the surface of your fabric, and then it will release in the atmosphere. So that is a loss due to radiation. Actually में क्या हो रहा है? खाली आपका जो फाइबर से फाइबर है वहीं पे ये रेडिएशन जा रहा है और फिर रीच करता है सरफेस पे फैब्रिक के और रिलीज हो जाता है एनवायरनमेंट में। So now this insulation value of your material, that is your fabric, is no doubt depend on which fabric construction etc. हम बात करते हैं, but not only, मतलब it is not 100% depend on fiber or fabric, but also how much air gap is there between your fabric or fabric layers. If you have large gaps, then you will find that more heat will be lost due to convection, because you are giving more gap for a hot air to pass. So therefore, not just fiber and not just fabric, they are important, but which type of construction you are using, what it means? It means open fabric or closed fabric. Ends per inches, fix per inches. अगर मैंने बहुत कम रखा तो that means air gap is more, and if air gap is more, then heat loss will be due to convection, because you are allowing more air to pass, and as we know that convection means what? Heat loss due to air current और also to body movement. क्योंकि जब बॉडी मूव करती है तो एयर डिस्टर्बेंस, एयर करंट प्रोड्यूस होता है और वो भी लॉस करता है। लेकिन अगर मैंने कपड़ा बहुत ज्यादा, फॉर एग्जांपल in summer normally we try to wear a cloth which is more open. Why? So that more air should be move through the fabric gaps. Why? Because we want to lose the heat. Why? Because in summer it is very hot. But in winter, if you are wearing same shirt which we wear in summer, open shirt if you are wearing in winter, then no doubt we will feel cold. Why we are feeling cold? Because whatever heat is there generated by my body, my skin, to maintain the balance, it is released in the atmosphere. If it is trapped to my skin, then the temperature of my skin will rise and I will feel comfortable. But अगर गैप ज्यादा है तो वो पूरा ड्यू टू कन्वेक्शन हीट लॉस हो जाएगा। Now as I told you the thermal conductivity and thermal resistance हम बात करते हैं। So how we can measure the thermal resistance? So there is a term called flow value. This flow value is used to measure the thermal resistance. And how it is measured? It is equal to 1.6 into thickness of your fabric in mm. So from this we can find out the flow value. So I think we will stop here only. I will just take attendance, then just don't go away, just a second.